Hey, what's going on, everybody? Shimoki here, and today we're taking a quick look at the Persephone semi-rework. Look at my general thoughts about the Persephone rework, and if she needed a rework, more towards the end of the video. But let's just jump into it for now. So, this is her new one. As you can see, it's pretty much just a straight line, and it doesn't have the AOE when it hits like a wall or a god. It used to have an AOE that would stop the projectile, and then it would have a bigger AoE once the initial projectile was stopped, but now it's just a straight line. However, it still has the interaction that when it hits a wall or hits an enemy god, the projectile will be stopped, and it sprouts a little plant there. And I'll explain the plants once we get to the two. But yeah, so it'll still pass through minions, like it would before. But instead, it's just a regular old projectile now, pretty much, that gets stopped by gods. And it has really high scaling as well, so that's nice. Yeah, same old idea. Shoot it forward, gets stopped by a god, plants a little seed. So not completely different, but it also has better aiming mechanics because the way it worked before, you pretty much couldn't aim it once you cast it. You could aim it for a moment, but then once it pretty much when you're at the point where it was launching itself, you couldn't aim it anymore, but now you can. So, okay, that wasn't the best example. You guys get my drift. So, next up is the harvest, which used to plant the seeds, and as you guys could probably tell, the small seeds, they don't exist anymore. It's pretty much only the heal seeds and the seeds with legs, the seeds that run at you. So let's use the two here, and boom. See, it's a little circle AoE. Wow, it actually did a lot of damage. I actually didn't realize how much damage that did. But it's a very small AoE with a decently long windup, but good range too. Actually, I haven't normal cast yet. Yeah, really decent range as well. That little circle, and yeah, it sets 3 plants there. And of course, they start as the healing seeds, and then they go into the walking seeds. So they kind of cut out the middleman where you had to use your 2 and then auto it immediately to explode it. It just automatically explodes now and plants the seeds. So you can use those to start healing, or you could wait a moment and expunge these new walking ones. So these don't track anymore. So what happens is when you auto them, they pretty much walk forward at the angle you hit them, and they'll hit enemies within that little AoE as they go. See? Cool, right? I think this is a slightly more fair way of having them work, because when they were tracking, it was just stupid, especially as an assassin. It really didn't feel like you could do much. When they were tracking you, you just had to go like, okay, stop following me now, please. So I think this is a fair compromise. And also you could, because the 2 lays them out in this triangle fashion, you can actually, it is actually a little, I could see it being mechanically intensive, especially in the middle of a team fight. So I know that was one of the things people were worried about, that they were going to destroy her. The fact that she was hard to... Oh, that was strange. Huh. I'll have to try that again sometime. I don't know why that just happened. But yeah, people were worried she wouldn't be too mechanically difficult, but I think that could be pretty easy to mess up, and I think you gotta be careful with that. So moving on to her 3, which didn't really see the biggest of changes. So basically, it actually does damage now, but it, you can't just have a huge explosion. Place a bunch of seeds down and have a huge explosion when you 3. It still procs them though, so still pretty high damage potential there, but obviously less than what there was before. So, yeah, they put a little explosion on it to make up for that. But also, just before we get to the ult here, I wanted to touch on the way her passive has changed. So, same idea. When you kill plants or they wither away because you have too many plants out or something, you get the seeds, and then when you go into base, boom, you get money for the seeds. 3 gold each, and you can hold up to 100 seeds. Cool. So up to 300 gold. Of course, while you're laning, you're just going to be putting this out. You're going to be healing up a little bit, maybe save one for a little bit of damage, and you time it better because you're not me. Okay, so what about when you die? Well, yep, he can't use any abilities anymore, unfortunately. What you can do, though, is within 3 seconds, which I didn't do. Oh my god, I forgot. Okay, so once you die, you enter this state for a few seconds, and you gotta place your seeds just like that. And then the general idea is you place this in lane before you die, and then they're back there for you. You, boom. That would happen in a real match for sure. But yeah, you get the idea. So you could just place plants now. I don't know if that was really necessary. I think they just needed to make it so that she couldn't ult in her old passive. I thought that was stupid, but I mean, this is a lot less interesting. But I mean, I guess it's pretty effective too for laning, because I mean, it's not like they can kill the plants and the plants don't disappear on their own, as far as I know. I've waited a couple minutes, and I wasn't able to see that any plants just withered on their own. So, I mean, it's useful. So that's cool. It's just less interesting than what she had. Okay, so moving on to the ults. I'll just ult the wall here so I can show you. So the big change is that while it does still keep you in the range, and it's still killable by a couple auto attacks, it still slows attack speed and everything, they aren't rooted as they walk towards the middle. So if I could show you that here. Have him walk towards it. Do that. I'm trying to walk away from it. See? You still walk away from it, and as he walks towards it, you saw he moved a little faster because the slow increases as you move away from the center. It should, remember when you walked into it before, as you walk towards the center, you'd get stuck at that distance. I thought that was a really weird mechanic. It didn't really make sense. I think having a slow that increases as you go towards the edge is a way better compromise. I think that makes way more sense. And if you're wondering, the ult still has no max distance. So there you go. So that's just a basic overview of the Persephone rework. It's very, very similar like on paper as to what it was before. The abilities all look the same. They just function slightly differently. Is she easier? Yes. Chances are I will be picking her up a little bit more now. I probably would have picked her up before if I was a mage player, but I'm just not. So I didn't really feel like the time investment into learning her wasn't really worth it for me. But I think she seems a little bit more fun now, just to jump in and play. She wasn't really a jump in and play type of character before, and I think that's might have been one of the reasons I want to rework her. It's just because she seems so intimidating to players who haven't played her or feel like they don't have to learn her or go through the process of learning her, because she's, you know, such a great character. And I think she still will be really good, because all of these changes indicate to me that she'll do a lot of the same stuff as before, other than the death passive. And I think she's still going to be great, and going to be a lot more accessible to people too. You know, I'd have to talk to some Persephone players just to see if they feel like she's lost her flair or something. But I don't know. I feel like they just cut down on all the unnecessary mechanics that she had, because a lot of it just felt unnecessarily complicated for what you could accomplish with them. It's not like you could really accomplish too many super cool things with her anyways, with you know, the 3 seed stages and everything. It was just different from everything else and just unnecessarily complicated to me. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think they changed Persephone too much? Do you think they've changed her too little? Or do you think she should have been just completely reworked from the ground up and just, you know, had a whole different idea for the character? So, I mean, let me know what you guys think, and thanks for watching.